Hey, welcome back, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Steph. OMG. Hello. I don't know if you've ever been
That
to
was
one of
so
these.
then edit audio, my friend.
I think I actually first met her in Richmond, but I had joined like some of the like queer podcasting like meetups before.
This past year or previously?
This past year, so it was my first time
Okay,
meeting her in person.
okay.
Of course, like I've been knew her late to the
You
party.
I love Steph. Steph has been a big supporter of what we do at the BPA, at the Black Podcast Association, so
That's what's up. That's what's up.
appreciate Steph.
Yeah. Well, we're not gonna hold you too much longer. We wanted to jump back on. We had a little technical difficulty. Michelle internet is unable to join us tonight as we wrap up, but we did want to wrap up and just give you guys a thank you for hanging out with us.
I guess
Uh,
we have to continue that conversation because that question or figure out another way to have a conversation around that question.
yeah.
I
Um,
don't wanna leave people hanging.
yeah. I don't know. We can go ahead and record it so if people are listening to the recording, they'll have it. Um, and then hopefully somehow we can just put the two together and
Yeah,
they
we're
can,
gonna figure this out, y'all. Substack should have kept us on the live, but apparently kicked us off after Michelle had her issue.
yeah.
So
All good.
we'll be back. Next Tuesday,
Not next Tuesday, the 31st.
31st. What's next? Oh shoot! See, my days be blending, so my bad, y'all. 31st.
It's all good. It's all good. Um, but yeah, we can go ahead and wrap it up. Corey was asking me how I deal with like negative comments and like hate comments online. I told him sometimes it used to depend on the day. Like sometimes I would crash out in the comments if you caught me on a bad day and I felt like you were like being rude and I wasn't having it. And you're talking to me crazy. But for the most part, I am a millennial and I did grow up with social media for the most part. So I am a little snarky back. Like you're not about to troll me and expect me not to say something crazy back to you. And not even in a like argumentative way, but like there would be times when people on like just like trolls on YouTube would be like, "Hey, I really love this video, but I think you could get a better mic or audio system." And I'd be like, "Cool, send me the money and I'll do it right now." Like, just give people the energy they give you. Like, it doesn't have to be that serious. You don't have to really entertain people, I don't think. And this year, because I did crash out a few times last year because I was grieving and people were pissing me off, I made a commitment to not crash out in the comments this year. So I have not responded to any hate comments. And I haven't called people out for copying me. I've been real nice. I've been real cool, calm, and collected. So as far as I'm concerned, y'all should be grateful. And I think you should give that same energy to people. Like, don't feed into it. If it's not criticism that helps you and that genuinely makes you better, don't even worry about it. Like those people are not worth your time and attention. Let them give you free views, free impression, free reach, help you grow your audience online and keep it pushing. Like those people are not worth your time, in my opinion. Or you can block them. The block button, it gets used very much. It gets used a lot. That's what I say.
I'm
What
kinda
about you?
in the idea of blocking people. It's kind of passive aggressive to me personally because I see people all the time like on threads. I just block them. I'm like that doesn't make the problem go away, but I
It does.
understand it really doesn't. But
It
I
does.
It's like I've seen some people they find me on this platform, that like
Right.
the energy to think about this person across all platforms. And I always treat hate like just ignore it. It goes away eventually. Um, I've always been the person I like to know what people are saying because it lets I gauge your threat level. I'm starting to think I need to go talk to my therapist about this, but I gauge your threat level based on how you act on it. But it is a concern for me as somebody who deals with because and talks with creators on the back end of things, and I see how some people take sometimes criticism and hate personally and stuff. And I try to I think when you come in, if you're coming into the creator space, you need to think about what kind of supports you need for you as a person. Like, who you are, right? You know how you handle stuff, whether it's from previous trauma in your life, or this is out of fear, or this is anxiety and getting into the space and not, what if they like me, or what if I'm not good at this and all that stuff. I think figuring out how to build a community around you of support, um, relying on tools like therapy and other things like exercise and or hobby. I say hobbies of your choice where you can. where if you're feeling like people are hating or you're feeling this negative energy being directed towards you, there's a outlet, a positive outlet for you to put it out somewhere, right? Um, and I think also too, like you say, like you have to resolve in yourself that I'm not going to pay attention to it, right? I'm not going to involve in it. And if blocking is how you do it, that's cool. Like I said, it's just weird to me, but I understand why people do it. If that's what's going to do it, then make your block list. Start making your block list. But I ask that question because I hear like I see it. I see the frustration. I hear the frustration sometimes. People don't always admit that that's bothering them. Nobody wants to really be like, oh my god, the hate is bothering me. But I do think like bottling it up inside as a creator is not good for you, and that you do need to find a positive outlet for it. And there's nothing wrong with talking to a therapist because this is a very stressful, a very challenging. Um, I almost liken it to when I started learning how to code. Because code, when I used to write code, when I was in school learning how to write code and building projects, and I would hit those walls, I'd be like, I'd feel stupid. Like, oh my god, why did I do this to myself? I'm seeing my classmates getting, some people just get it right away, and I'm sitting here like, why I'm not getting it, and I'm challenging myself, and then I might walk away, come back a day later, and then all of a sudden I realize I know the answer, or I'm in a different state. So like, and for me, it was like, "Oh, it challenges you. It's gonna challenge who you are as a person. It's gonna test your self-esteem. It's gonna test these things." And the only way you can really battle, get through that is you gotta have stuff like, I would go play football when I was in school. Like, I would every Sunday, I was like, "Alright, you wanna hold the line of that scrimmage? I'm taking everything out that I felt this week on you," right? Like, don't play the line against me because 'cause you're gonna catch it, right? Um, but then after that, after I got all that stuff out, we would go have beers and chicken and watch the games and stuff and have a good time. And it was like it was like a stress relief for me. That was my outlet. And when I got hurt, I couldn't play anymore. I was like, I gotta find out another outlet. So I think it's very important if you're feeling like if there's a lot of hate going on, and do block it. That's why it's there. Me, I'm like Angela. I wanna fire back. I enjoy it. It's fun to me. Like, let me see how far I can take you with this, right? But not everybody's built like that. Um, but I just I wanted to ask that question because I felt like, we were talking about one side of the conversation, and I feel like there might be somebody watching or listening who might be like feeling like, well, what do I do about it? So that's why I kind of wanted to ask. I would love to maybe Michelle one day can write about it or something with how she deals with it. But um
The other half too is, that might be helpful and that I do is whenever I get positive feedback, like I'll screenshot it and I'll place it in what I call like my kind words folder. So whenever I'm feeling bad or someone says something to me or I'm just having a bad day, I'll go back and like redo the comments and DMs that I get. Cause sometimes like it can be easy to focus on the negative stuff that people say. But then when you look at all the positive, it's like, oh, that way outweighs the negative crap people say. Like, let me just focus on like these people. These are who I'm making stuff for. These are who I want to be happy and feel that my content is valuable or the media I'm creating is valuable. Like, let me just focus on them. Let me not focus on the negativity. I highly encourage everybody to do that for sure. I think that's
oh
super
yeah,
helpful.
I always tell people you should concentrate on the people who are there and who are not, and not the people who aren't. So I wish I could be like that. Like, that stuff doesn't do anything for me. I wish I could be.
Why does positivity not help you, Corey?
Maybe it's my own self-inflated ego. I don't know. Like, I'm like, I did it. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Thanks, appreciate it. Why you can't take a
No.
compliment, Corey? Like, 'cause I know, like, thank you. I appreciate it, but I'm not. This is just the beginning of it. I'm not even. I'm not even. I'll take the compliment when I'm like, okay, I've done everything I came here to do. I've conquered. Now it's time for me to enjoy the fun. But
And you know what? I sometimes get that way where I'm just like, this isn't even scratching like the surface of like my potential and like the vision that I have and like where I think this is going to go. But like everything that you put out helps you get to that point though. You know what I'm saying? So you got to celebrate the small wins every day, like showing up every day, even if one day doesn't feel that
the
great.
win is that you're here.
Yes.
Even my bank account. That's the win for me.
Oh God.
Like, oh, the game today. Okay, let's keep it moving.
No, no, you gotta savor that. You gotta receive that in your spirit, you know.
You know,
There'll be rough days.
I guess, but that's I think that's a competitive side of me. It's like, okay, yeah, like, good catch. I know, I made it. good block. I know I did it. Like I've been practicing. Like I think because it also is like I know the path that it took me to get there. So I don't need that kind of validation because if I'm on a like when I used to play football, if I'm on the field starting, that's the validation. Like I did enough. That means in practice, that means I showed up. I was doing everything I needed to do for me to earn the spot that I'm in, and that nobody can't take that away from me until I take it away from myself.
Yeah, that's a very, like, me versus me, like, competitive
Yeah,
spirit. Like, am I better than I was the last time? Like, I don't need anybody else, and that's fair. Like, I feel like I'm that way sometimes too, but it's also just like, then when you're hard on yourself and maybe you feel like you aren't performing at the level that you should be, how do you, like, bounce back from that? How do you give yourself, like, positive affirmation then?
it's called whiskey and partying hard, and then I get
No.
my system, and then I'm ready. Monday morning, I'm back. I just look. We just say what's the positive way you doing it?
So basically, Corey said, "Fuck the haters, get drunk."
I crash out, and then I'm back to myself again.
No, no, can't do that, sir. Ah,
How
that's
do I do it? It's like momentum for me. It's like okay, you fall, you pick yourself up. But maybe that's why I like Rocky. Like I watch Rocky a lot. Like or for me, it's if I'm feeling like that, I'll go watch a certain movie. Like I'll go watch Rocky, and then the blood starts pumping up, and I'm like, all right, woo, let's go. I start doing my Ric Flair impression, and I'm ready to go again. Like sometimes you gotta look in the mirror and just remind yourself who you are. Like I have to tell myself sometimes when I do feel a little down, like bro, like look where you're at. Like look where you got to. Right? Like, look how you made it. Like, you weren't supposed to be here. You didn't, this wasn't even part of the plan. So like so I just, and that's why I say my self-inflated ego because I start being like, yeah, you weren't even supposed to be in this room. That wasn't even part of the plan, bro. But you're here, so you did something good. That means you did something. So, and I think and that's why I said earlier with the hate part. It's like that means I'm doing something right. Like if I'm getting hate, I'm clearly somebody's paying attention to me. That must mean I'm doing something right.
Yeah,
And that's what kinda where that mindset comes from, and, like, somebody said in the chat earlier, it's like that's like a New York attitude, and I guess that's part of growing up in New York, you kind of everybody around you is kinda like that. Like, I've had friends hating on me to my face, and I'm just like, "Yeah,
it's not a
well,
friend.
well,
That's not a
well,
friend.
I have my opinions on that part, but, 'cause it's a spectrum, but like I said, I also realize that somebody's self-projecting, and they might be in a certain space in their life where they feel that, but that doesn't bother me, like, you know? Michael,
Mhm.
yeah, how many subscribers that hate to subscribe to your work? I
Yeah,
don't care. Please do. Like, if you're gonna give me your time, I'm all for it.
yeah. Hey, subscribers, they're a weird bunch though, man. They are so weird. I think I told you guys about one in the group chat a little while ago. It was, like, late fall, and
But
they
you know
just
what? I think, and I wish Michelle was here for this because I would love to hear her opinion on it. I think you as Black women, and I've been noticing that on social media. I think like the hate on Black women as content creators, as business people. So when you say like, because I don't get that, right? I don't get that kind of hate, but I see it's like people are comfortable doing that to
mhm,
Black women.
yeah,
And I
I
don't
don't know.
yeah, I mean, I do understand it because it's misogyny, it's, a misogynoir, and it's racism and a lot of those things, but I think you guys have a little bit of different experience than I do, when it comes to that. So I can understand how it might affect you. So I think for, like, Black women, I think even more importantly for you not to l if you're getting hated on publicly or in your content and stuff, you should definitely have people you should talk to behind the scenes.
I mean, I
Yeah,
sent it to y'all. Y'all the behind the scenes for
you realize I keep my mouth shut on threads now. Like I be like, I'll say my little quip here and there, but it makes me think triple, not twice. It makes me think triple before I open my mouth.
Yeah. But, yeah, I sent it to y'all. I was like, "What the fuck?" Like and it's like, the thing about Beehive that I love is, like, I can go back and see how many, like, emails this person has opened and, like, how many things that person was on my newsletter for, like, over a year. You've been subscribed to me for a year just to finally email me back and say, "Who the fuck subscribes to this endless stream of consciousness?" Apparently you, because you be opening, like she opened, like, over 70% of my newsletters over the last year and had a pretty high click-through rate. So it's like you hate it so much that you open it every week. So it was just weird. Um,
It goes back to me blocking see, like, that kinda stuff concerns me, and that's why I don't like blocking people because it tells me you're like because when you block them, then you don't know what's going on with them, and that this is I think this is the dangerous game because stalking and obsessive behaviors and stuff, they I think, social media really amplifies it for people, and that's my only concern with blocking. It's kind of like, it gets to a point where, like, you have to be real careful, like, you can't just ignore it.
yeah,
You can't just say, "Imma block this to protect my peace," and then, because that you don't know what that's gonna motivate somebody to do. So and that's why I say it's like, for Black women, I think that experience is even more dangerous and needs to be paid attention to. It shouldn't be taken lightly.
yeah. And I didn't feel, like, threatened by it. Thankfully, I have not felt physically threatened by anybody who's ever, like, said something to me. Um, but no, I mean, I've definitely heard horror stories about people just, like, showing up to your events randomly, like, showing up to your live streams, like, emailing you all types of stuff, DMing you all types of stuff. Like, I haven't had that level of negative response, but I definitely know that it happens for sure.
No, I'm gonna give some advice for people, when you get to a certain point, you should have a budget for your goon squad. That's what I'm gonna say. You should if you're gonna be doing events, make sure you have your goon squad around, like, you be on the stage with 30 people, in your hype, hire somebody to be your hype man. Like rappers,
Yeah, New York. So New York.
the hype man ain't just there to be repeating everything you say on stage.
Oh, man, that's crazy. Man. But yeah, and that's funny you say that because I am, like, gonna apply to speak at some events, like, this summer. And one of them is an event that I went to last summer, and, like, thankfully, I knew them, but, like, they woke up to me, and they're just like, "Oh my god, I remember when I subscribed to your newsletter." I had no idea who they were. Great friends now, but, like, no idea who they were. So there's, like I know they're and it's like, I never imagined I would run into them in Birmingham, but, like, just goes to what you're saying, like, there's probably people that subscribe to you that will show up like, they may never respond, but they're listening, they're watching, they're reading, and they'll show up if they know that you're gonna be somewhere, and
Mhm.
then they'll know who you are, but you won't know who they are because we're all over there 1,000 subscribers. There's no way we know everybody that subscribed to our newsletter, but because you're in their inbox and probably between their ears so much, like, they know who you are, and they'll just, like, walk up to you and start talking to you like they know you, but you don't know them, and so it's like you do gotta be careful.
That's the part, even for me, that's a little weird for me. I still haven't got used to it. Like, even when I was at an event, when I was dating somebody, a girl went up to her and was like, "Do you know Corey?" And it was like, "I'm here to meet Corey." It was at an event, and then she it was like the randomness of her just asking this particular person who actually did know me, right? And it was like, and like that stuff has kind of been that's a little creepy to me because I've always had growing up, I've always had a problem with somebody, asking me or be like, "Do I know you?" Because I grew up in the '90s, and I always had a case of mistaken identity. "You look like somebody." "Nah, you don't know." Nope, nope, nope. I remember faces. I'll forget names, but I remember your face, and I don't remember your face. So, because you don't know maybe I watched too many gangster movies.
Lord have mercy.
I don't need no Benny Blancos running up on me, you know?
Oh god. Shamiko said, "Do I know you can be fighting words?"
Exactly, Kimiko, especially in the '90s and stuff. It was like, everybody's wearing, their army fatigues, everybody looking alike. It's like, do I? Nah, yo. I don't be out in the streets like that. Like, I go home, bro. Like, I don't know. But it's a little scary when you're out there and somebody walks up to you and it's like, "I know you," and, like, I've had people do that, like, "I'm subscribed to your newsletter." I'm like, "Okay." Like, "Hi, hello, who are you?" You know?
Yeah.
So I
No.
that's the part and I think for me, that was when I started, like, doing lives and stuff, when people started asking me to come on, I think that was the part that I was really concerned about was, like, the randomness stuff, right? So I was
Mm,
like, and that's why, like, I'm very like, when I watch, like, 'cause hate escalates, right? It
right.
escalates, so you could kinda see when somebody's starting to become really unhinged, and like you're saying, like, this person's opening up all your emails, they're reading, they're clicking through, they're following everything, all these different things that you're doing, and it's like, that's an escalation, and I think that's something that people need to be you can't brush that off. It may be innocent, it may not, and that's to me is a 50-50 gamble that I don't those are odds I don't like when I'm gambling.
Yeah. Well,
So,
that's fair. Y'all making me think about stuff I haven't really thought about, but, like, again, I probably should because 'cause they're like I don't talk about politics a lot for real at all, but I have touched on it
Mhm,
I've touched on, like, the tariffs and how they're affecting, like, the camera industry
mhm.
and, like, because that's a real thing now,
Hard
like,
drive industry,
hard drives.
the memory.
Oh, I wish I had one right now.
I was
This
about
this
hey, you about to see my hate coming out.
this right here, liquid gold, okay? Like, crazy, crazy prices right now for just, like, stuff that
Name. Oh,
wasn't even
stop.
yo, I'm balling over here, don't be trying I'm joking. But, like, like, all that stuff that, like, just is but, like and people have had some interesting reactions to that, and, like, sometimes, again, I've told you guys and I've posted about it, like, sometimes I'll write, like, what I call gut check articles just to see, like just to remind people, like, this a Black woman-owned newsletter, like, we
Yeah,
gonna talk about some Black stuff, and sometimes people just self-select, they'll unsubscribe, but then, like, on the flip side, the people that are really rocking with me, they're gonna respond, they're gonna comment, and so it's like you weed out the people who really not there for you by being you as much as you possibly can, and I think that helps too, like, kind of like, if anybody thought shit was sweet, like, don't come over here with that. This ain't the place, but,
real quick,
thankfully.
because I know we're gonna cut this in a few. How do you deal have you received any racial hate? Especially with, the subject matter of some of the things you write about.
Not recently. Definitely some, I guess you could call it political hate. Like I wrote tariffs, and like whether or not I really thought they were an issue or whatever. And someone responded like all caps, and they were just like, "Tariffs are a good thing. People have been robbing us for years, and we need to be getting our fair share." And all this, that, and the third. And it's just like, sir, this is a Wendy's. First of all, don't be in my comments in all caps. Secondly, I said what the fuck I said. If you don't like it, you don't have to be subscribed here. I'm not holding you by your hand. Um, so I personally it's been a minute. If I have, it's been a minute and maybe I blocked it out because I blocked the person so I can't see it anymore anyway. But yeah, it's been a minute. I think I did something for a brand and it was on like a Black woman cyclist. And someone commented and said, "What about all cyclists? This is racist. This is woke, whatever. Everybody deserves bike lanes." And it's like, we never said everybody didn't deserve bike lanes. We just said this neighborhood specifically is long overdue for this type of infrastructure. So it's been a minute, especially since I've been kind of out the way lately. Um, but I'm sure people have. I don't know. I wish Michelle was in here. She probably could comment as well. I don't know. What about you? Has anybody said, "Why is it Black Podcasters Association?
Oh,
Why
I get
not
that all
all
the time.
all the
I'm
time?"
not walking down the street with my T-shirt on, and I'll be like, "That's the fact that you." My response always the fact that you asked that question is the reason why, and then I just wait because like you realize you just chose the right one, right? Like how far do you want this conversation to go? So,
Yeah,
but or the people around me might be the right one for you. Like sometimes you gotta be careful who you're talking to and why you're talking to them that way, right? But
yeah,
I don't really get it. I don't know, maybe because some people think I'm ambiguous at sometimes, I don't know. I don't
yeah.
really
I
get it,
will
but
say
I'm also not as front and center like you may where you're doing video content and stuff like that enough
yeah.
to say something. But if I did get it, I wouldn't, I know enough of my history and their own history to give them a lashing on, so
I don't know. The other thing I will say too with Melanin MVP, nobody's said anything to my face about Melanin MVP, but I have actually had people hit me up and say they felt like the name wasn't Black enough. Like they felt like it didn't go far enough, which is interesting. Um, and obviously they were Black, so maybe they felt that way for a reason. And I think maybe people just wanna make sure that something is for them, um, but I don't know.
what they wanted to be like the Black of the Berry MVP, like, I don't know, like, what did they what was the expectation there? Like,
I don't but I think, like, there are organizations like Black Podcasters Association, there's Black Girls Do Bike, there's Black Girls Run, there's, like, organizations that are Native Women Run, Native Women Ride, like, very specifically for specific subset of people, and I felt like I guess they felt like mine wasn't specific enough, I guess. I don't know.
well, everybody's a critic. Everybody's gonna have something to say. I think that's the other part about hate. Everybody's gonna have something to say, so, like, Do you pay it any mind? Like for me, some of the what I consider criticism comes from certain people I respect that I listen to. The rest of it is just like, kick
Yeah.
rocks.
Yeah. And these are people that, like, I knew, that were, like, reaching out to me, and they were just like, "We don't feel like it goes far enough." And that was interesting. Stephanie said, "Man, get off my email." Folks just want to say stuff. That's an excellent name. Thank you. It's like some Black people don't like BIPOC. That's also an interesting group of people that were like, "Don't include me
I
with that."
Professor made a very good strong point against BIPOC about how it establishes that there's levels of color, and I was like, that makes sense. I don't want to misquote the person or but that's basically the gist of it. Was like by saying BIPOC, you're implying that there's a hierarchy of color, and
Mm,
it kind of feeds into that whole white supremacist viewpoint of like color and all that stuff. So I was like, that's a good
that's interesting.
point.
I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah,
That makes sense. The other thing I'll say too is, like, when people don't wanna say BIPOC, sometimes I'll say black and brown, but then Asian Americans and Indigenous Americans will be like, "Well, I'm not black, I'm not brown, I'm yellow," or something like that. Like, they don't see themselves in
I love when
black and brown.
you say it in front of little kids and they be like, "But you're brown," and I'm like my son used to be like, "I'm orange," and I'm like, "No, Trump is orange."
Oh god. Oh, man.
Another conversation, but I'm glad we had this convo. Sorry for the tech difficulties with everybody, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, we're gonna sign off here. Thank y'all for jumping back on. We appreciate it. Hopefully, this two-parter was helpful, entertaining,
We'll
something.
we'll get everything sorted out.
And by us, we mean probably Substack, because they the one who's fucking this up and making it hard for us. But, yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'm Angela. I write Please Hustle Responsibly and Melanin MVP. Corey,
I'm Corey
yours.
Combs. I am the founder of the Black Podcast Association as well as founder of Black Pod News, blkpodnews.com right here on Substack. So make sure you subscribe to everybody's newsletters.
Yes. And Michelle, who is not with us but is in the comments, Michelle writes creators getting paid. So subscribe to her as well. All right.
All
We'll
right.
see you guys
And
not next week.
we'll be back,
Not
right, March 31st.
March 31st, last Tuesdays of the month. See you guys.
All right. Have a good night.